Welcome to the Expert Speaker Podcast. We're here with real estate investor Crystal Ireland. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here today.
Today we're covering the topic how to get into real estate investment starting with nothing. You started with nothing, huh?
Yes, absolutely nothing. We were trying to get into real estate for a long time, and we were doing all these side hustle jobs, anything and everything, including like Amazon FBA. We were trying anything to save up tons of money so we could get into real estate. And we didn't realize we didn't need to do all of that.
So I'm sure many people believe that they have to save money and have a large down payment to get into real estate. So how can you get into real estate with nothing?
And I know people hear this all the time: OPM, other people's money; OPC, other people's credit; and OPT, other people's time. I guess what I'm actually giving is my time. So it would be my time that other people, passive investors, are using.
So tell me about the first property you bought and what you learned.
So the very first property that we purchased was an 8 unit. So we didn't own a house, we didn't own a duplex, we didn't own a triplex. Our first property that we ever purchased was an 8 unit. This seemed like at the time that would be impossible for us, that we would save forever to get into a property. But what we did is we partnered with passive investors who invested in the deal, and we came with an amazing deal that we worked on for 8 months. We negotiated this deal down for 8 months in the time when the market properties were selling for $400,000 over asking. We ended up getting our property for 880. It was on the market for 930,000 at that time. So obviously we got coaching and we got coached through this process, and we were coachable. We listened to our coach, and that got us from our very first 8 unit property that we never thought possible.
8 unit property for 880,000, huh?
Yeah.
Gosh, you're lucky to get a condo for that these days, huh?
Yeah.
Um, so what made you decide to get coaching before? And so the first building you bought was 8 units, huh?
Yes.
You just went for it. You
Just
didn't
went
do
away.
wow.
Yeah.
So was that the first property you've ever purchased, or was that just
Yeah.
your first investment property?
That was the first property we ever purchased.
So, okay. How did you buy it with nothing?
So we raised capital and we had got passive investors on the deal. But I mean, I'm skipping quite a few steps because we invested in ourselves. We got the coaching and the mentorship that we needed to be able to achieve that, to show us the steps and how to do that, how to negotiate a deal directly with the seller, how to negotiate it for such a long period of time with logic and reason, and just be shown the way. And we had to be really coachable. We had to be open. We had to be coachable. We had to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think that was a game changer for us because we didn't just say the words, we embodied it. Like we were constantly uncomfortable, and we had to get comfortable with that and putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations consistently.
And what is real estate and coaching like?
Real estate coaching,
Yeah.
it's amazing. We had a coach where we would meet with them every 2 weeks, and we'd meet with them for an hour. And it wasn't just sitting down watching videos and getting information. We had somebody kind of take us by the hand and show us the process. Somebody who had done it for 30 years and has made all the mistakes, and we got to take advantage and learn from their mistakes and not make the same mistakes as them. And so we got to take a shorter path.
How did you choose this coach, and what were you looking for in a coach?
Actually, we didn't know we were looking for a coach. We knew we had joined other programs, and we were getting information modules, and we thought that that's how we would do it. We would learn the information, we would go out there and do it. And we were doing that but we just kept hitting brick walls. We were just still not getting anywhere. And we're like, well, we did the thing, we invested in ourselves, and we're making all the right moves, so we thought, but even with all the information, we still weren't getting anywhere. So the things that we were missing were the people, the connections, a community, and a coach, and
Hmm.
someone to show us. Like, it's great to have information, but when you're closing on a deal and you need maybe out of the box tips or tools that are not going to be in a video, you need somebody who has experience that can help you navigate that. We didn't realize we needed it until we were learning information, and we still weren't getting anywhere. We were still getting a bunch of no's. We were getting no's from mortgage brokers. We were getting no's from all like realtors, like everywhere. And the missing piece was a experience learning from someone who's already navigated those waters.
So, with a coach, community, experience, you were able to close on your first 8 unit building.
Yes.
And why 8 units and not 16 units? Why 8 units and not 1 or 2 units?
Well, with the coaching as well, we had a paradigm shift. We were still kind of going after like duplexes and triplexes, and our coach mentor was like, "Why? Why not do it bigger? It's the same amount of work." And we were like, yeah, why not bigger? And it was just because our paradigms were smaller. And once those shifted and they opened up, we're like, yeah, why not go bigger? And 8 units, might have went bigger. It was just because we underwrote hundreds of deals. And this one was just like a great deal, it was an amazing deal. And that's why we went forward with that one.
You underwrote hundreds of deals. Can you define underwrite, please?
So underwriting is running the numbers on different properties. So taking into consideration all the expenses, what the net operating income is. So what's the income coming in and what's the income going out? And there's a lot of things people don't consider in their underwriting, but we believe that nothing should come out of pocket, that it all should be self-sustained from the property itself. And so we make sure we consider everything when we underwrite our deals.
Got it. So, analyzing numbers, expenses, projections. Got it.
Yeah.
So, what did you learn from raising capital?
Raising capital. Raising capital taught us, it actually taught us so much and helped me actually, it was helped me grow quite a bit. I was still kind of at the beginning of my real estate state. Like when I first got into real estate, I was still kind of like, I had gone through some things and I was kind of more introverted and I wasn't able to really put myself out there. And raising capital helped me grow in the sense of building confidence, even though I knew how to sell, but really putting it into practical use and believing in what we were doing. So we were thinking at first, why in the world would anybody in their right mind give us $150,000, $500,000? Why would they do that? Why? What about me says, yeah, give me $500,000
That's a
of
good
your
question.
hard-earned money? And so when we first started raising capital, we were going into these meetings, and I think they probably could smell that on us that we didn't have the confidence. And when I say we, my partner, they could probably smell it on us. And it was with the time of actually meeting with all these investors that I started understanding my value. And the value that we brought to the table was we did educate ourselves. We did know how to really underwrite a deal well to make sure that the deals were cash flowing. We did know how to look for great deals, how to find them. And we started realizing that we were actually providing an opportunity to passive investors. And we also started realizing that there's tons of passive investors out there. There's people that have money that need to park it somewhere, but they need someone that knows what they're doing to park it with. We realized that people were investing their money in terrible deals. And that started building our confidence, like, okay, we actually do have something to offer, and we are actually helping people. And I think that changed a lot for us. And then just realizing that there are actually a lot of investors looking to place their money somewhere, and knowing that we were providing an opportunity, it was that mindset shift that helped us.
What kind of people ultimately said yes and wrote you a check? Was it like family members? Was it coworkers? Was it people you didn't really know very well or people you knew for a long time?
I actually didn't. The last people in the world I wanted to go to was family. I was like, if I have to go to family, I'm not doing this. Um, so I did not go to family. We went to other investors. So other people who wanted to get into real estate. Family and friends are actually trickling in now because they're watching what we're doing, and they're seeing that we're successful, and now they're interested. And if they're coming on their own terms and they're curious, that's great. Otherwise, we were just sticking to investors. And especially right now, I prefer investors who are educated and who know what they're doing. Those are the best partners.
Where do you find experienced investors?
In our community is where I find them right now.
Which community is that?
Well, genius community.
And I didn't want to assume, but is Wealth Genius the one that did your coaching as well?
Yes.
Gotcha. So you got a Wealth Genius coach, you got a Wealth Genius community, you're raising capital, you're not going to friends and family.
No.
Um, I assume that's to avoid potentially awkward scenarios. And
Yeah.
as an investor, tell me how do you wrestle with this, which is you could lose the investor's money. You could lose all of it. How do you sleep at night, Crystal?
Well, how I sleep at night is I do everything to make sure that we do not lose their money. So that is one of the biggest things. That's why I feel like learning how to underwrite a deal well is the foundation. Understanding and learning the market and trying to and like looking to see how the market is changing. And I still have a mentor, and I still seek advice from my mentor all the time. And having a huge community where we have eyes and ears everywhere to kind of pay attention to what is going on in the market, that's invaluable. So that's one of the ways underwriting. And because I actually really care, so we manage our properties like they're our babies, and our investors and the asset come first always. Even if that means we, like, for example, for the property management team on the property, even if that means if something happens and we don't take our property management fee, we'll always put the investors and the asset first, no matter what.
Hmm. So you're managing your own properties?
Some, yes.
I see. So how far have you come since this first 8 units? What else is
Right,
in the portfolio?
we have a 36 unit, and we're working on closing a 10 unit, and we're working on another 52.
The last one you said 42?
Yeah.
And how do you structure the deals? Maybe it's all different, but generally, how do you structure your deals between investors and you're I think you call it active partner?
Yeah, so the way we look at it is like active partners, those are the ones that are managing and taking care of the asset, the property, the income, expenses, all those sort of things. And the tenants, a lot of investors do not want to deal with tenants, so we take that responsibility on, whether it's us or we hire another property management team. And sorry, refresh my memory, what was the question?
Like, how do you structure the deal? Like, form a corporation around the
Yes.
building, and what's the split between investor and passive and active investors?
Each deal is structured differently depending on the deal. Like I would say like a typical structure would be 50-50. So 50% for the active investor, 50% for the passive investor. So yeah, I guess that would be the typical structure.
And does the active investor put any money in?
They can. The active investor can put money in, but they don't have to. That was another thing at the beginning, I think, that I struggled with in building my confidence. Like, why would somebody say, let's get into this deal without you putting in any investment yourself? And after managing and running properties, I no longer have that feeling. The amount of value that a well-educated active investor puts into it, the amount of time and effort just on a closing of the deal, how much time and effort goes into that, all the paperwork, dealing with the lawyers, how much effort goes into that. Passive investor doesn't need to do any of that. For a refinance, how much time and energy goes into a refinance, how much time and energy goes into vetting tenants, showing the units, maintenance of the building, all of those things. There's so much time and energy that goes into that, that a lot of passive investors, they do not want to worry about that. Like, they want freedom, they want free time, and that's what we offer them: checks in the bank and freedom.
Fantastic. Now, you've formed a little reputation of being able to get properties off market. Can you explain what that means and how you do it?
So actually, I think all of our deals have been off market. So initially, our first one was actually just off Kijiji, and so it was directly with the seller. So we do scour different sites like that to so that we can work directly with the seller. We love working directly with the seller when possible. The other way is we've built relationships with realtors. And realtors, we've actually sat down and had meetings with realtors and showed them how we underwrite our deals and what type of deals that we're looking for. They, once deals like that come across their desk, they will bring them to us. And most often before they ever go on market.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you can go back to your pre-investor self and give some advice, what would you say?
My pre investor self. Well, I'm actually happy for the journey that I had that took me to where I am now. I would just say, I guess the one thing is just knowing that you can do it. You don't need to wait. You can start now. I wish I would have started sooner. That's it.
Hmm. Start now, start sooner. And
Yeah.
now, as a more established real estate investor, what does your day-to-day look like? Are you like actively looking for more people to invest? Are you actively looking for more projects? What does the day-to-day look like for you?
Yeah, definitely be looking for more projects all the time. Although, like, we divided and conquered. So, my fiance, he is now responsible for sourcing deals. So, that's what he does. He sources deals constantly. Like that, I see him up at 1 a.m. Looking for deals. He's obsessed, but it's great. So we're always looking for deals. We're always looking for new investors. I'm also a coach now as well, and also looking for. I have other mentors such as yourself, Majeed. So one of the things that I'm looking to improve is communication and just getting out there more and getting on stages more. And something that really ignited me. And the other advice that I would give people is post.
Social media.
Social media.
Yeah.
You would be so surprised. So in the beginning of our journey, we would post all the time, and we wouldn't get many, like, I wouldn't say like tons of likes or comments or anything like that. But every time we would go out, people would approach us saying, "Oh my God, I love what you're doing. You guys are so inspiring. You guys are a family. You're out there investing. I watch your videos." So even if people are not liking, if they're not commenting, they are watching. They're watching what you're doing. And also, that ignited something in me when people started approaching us all the time. First of all, I was surprised. that people were like approaching us and that people were looking up to us. And then when I realized that I could impact or change people's lives with real estate, like through real estate with my story, that just ignited something in me. And so one of my passions is also giving back and showing people that this is possible. Like you can do this. You don't have to have millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get into real estate. You can start with nothing and get in. And I'm really passionate about that because I know that there's a lot of people that feel like they're stuck, but it is possible.
So start now, start sooner, post. Now you're coaching with Wealth Genius.
Yeah.
So what's it like being on the coaching side of the conversation now and helping people achieve their dreams in real estate?
It's an amazing feeling watching people grow and watching people overcome their fears and achieve things they never thought was possible is a feeling I can't really describe. It's so fulfilling and it's just amazing to watch people bloom and grow and do things, get comfortable, sorry, getting uncomfortable all the time, not comfortable. Watching people get uncomfortable and watch their growth is amazing.
And you're speaking on stages now. Tell me about
Yes.
that. What's that been like and where do you want that to go?
That has been amazing. It's also me overcoming my own fear. And it's been a challenge for me, but I love it. I love the feeling of getting out there, sharing my story. The reason why I love sharing my story is because the way it impacts people, and the reason why I know that it impacts people is because people approach me afterwards and share how it has touched them or inspired them. And there's nothing I love more than that. I want to give back what was given to me and an opportunity to change my life. And I want to be able to do that for others.
Great. Love that. For the people who want to follow you, learn from you, maybe get coached by you, or maybe invest in your next deal, where should they go to connect with you?
A bright eyed investor on Instagram. You can DM me
Right.
there.
BRI,
BRIGHT, EYED investor.
Bright Eyed Investor on Instagram. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Crystal. Are there any final thoughts you want to share?
No, I just want to thank you for having me. It's been amazing and a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for all the good work you're doing, all the people you're helping, all the people you're inspiring. It's great to know your fiance is so obsessed. He's up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I feel like he's having fun with it.
He is. He loves it. He loves it. He's having a lot of fun.
Good. Thank you for being a guest on the Expert Speaker Podcast. Thank you for listening to the Expert Speaker Podcast. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and leave us a rating so that more people can discover the Expert Speaker Podcast and so more people can be empowered to share their message. Be sure to go to www.expertspeaker.com and take the masterclass to learn how to grow your business and make money speaking. It's totally free and will change your business. If you're ready to work with Expert Speaker, you can apply. Just go to expertspeaker.com/apply and someone from our team will be in touch with you to help you grow your business with public speaking. That's expertspeaker.com/apply. We'll see you in the next episode.